Yo YouTube, it's Tofuhero Video, and I'm going to show you guys my Gundam DVD collection today. I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to talk about the Gundam universe first, and then I'll go through my collection based on when they were introduced in the timeline. So basically, the original Mobile Suit Gundam started in a timeline called Universal Century. And that's like 0079, and that's how sometimes we call the original Gundam. Um, and this also includes Gundam Unicorn, that OVA that's still being released right now. And personally, after watching Gundam Unicorn, I really like that original animated style. But it was really hard to watch the original Gundam and Zeta Gundam just because the animation was a bit old and the way that it's presented is a bit dated. And the only DVDs I have of Universal Century right now are let's see. Oh, here they are. So I have Mobile Suit Gundam, Char's Counterattack, and Mobile Suit Gundam 08th MS Team. These two, this one is actually one of my favorites because it's not it's not a regular Gundam series. It's more about the folks that aren't super powered people, and it's about just the regular military soldiers using Gundams and fighting, and it's probably one of the more realistic, if you can call it realistic, Gundam series out there. So then after Universal Century, after all these series that went through this first timeline, I think Bandai was thinking, let let's do an alternate universe. Let's freshen things up. I think at that time, the fighting tournament animes were really popular, so he decided to make Mobile Fighter G Gundam, Volume One, and Mobile Fighter G Gundam Volume Two. Essentially, this is a tournament fighting anime series with giant robots from each country fighting to basically rule the world until the next fight. I'd have to say that this thing is very similar to Dragon Ball Z, Yu Yu Hakusho, and has some very, let's say, questionable character designs, especially in the Gundams. Like you'll see, I think maybe it's Mandala Gundam or maybe Tequila Gundam. Like the names got changed too. I don't even know how to say this. I personally liked it because at it kind of caught your attention. After the first half, it was just entertaining to see the music, just the characters interacting with each other, and some of the fights were just blown out of proportion. Like when you watch it, you imagine like just two people fighting each other rather than two robots fighting each other. You'll see what I mean if you watch it, and then it goes, and they turn like friggin' Super Saiyan. Um, the animation is a bit hard to watch though, so if you can get through that, I like the music enough to keep watching, and then I actually bought this series. Next in the alternate universe is everyone's, I guess a lot of people think this is the definitive Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing, Volume 1. Just a small story with this one. I bought this from Amazon a long time ago, and it actually had a lot of defects. So I kept having to return it and rewatch the whole thing because sometimes the disc would like stop at one point and you wouldn't be able to watch it, right? After the third time of watching this thing through, I finally got a copy that was good. I think it's because of the anime legends. I think it's just cheaper DVD production. So then there's more chance of production errors like that. And we also have Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Season 2, or the second half of the series. And finally, the beautifully animated Endless Waltz. So in terms of alternate universes, there's just one more. It's called After War Gundam X, and I watched it and I really liked it, but then it never got a release out here. I think it represents basically if, let's see, if the 1 Year War in Universal Century, it's basically alternate universes work like this. Let's say the 1 Year War happened, and okay, one perspective is that all the countries decide to go into this crazy Gundam fight because you can solve all problems by fighting in a big tournament. One timeline is, I guess, the Earth. and the Earth basically kind of went to peace. But then there was some terrorist group in Gundam Wing with Operation Meteor. I don't know. And then finally, the third timeline is if the 1 year war ended with basically nuclear destruction and everything went to hell, we'd have after war Gundam X. It's basically after a big purging of the Earth. It's like post-apocalyptic. Everything's fucked up and everyone's trying to just survive. I personally liked it because it actually had one of the most. It had better character relationships, I think. Anyhow, I digress. Then we have the. Okay, I guess the alternate universes continues. Um, After Turning Gundam kind of messed with the continuity, we go into like the first digitally animated Gundam series. This is where they had consistent animation. So we have Gundam Seed, and I have this 10-disc complete DVD collection bought from Australia because the U.S. prints are now out of print for the most part. And Gundam Seed Destiny. This is these two series were basically rehashing Mobile Suit Gundam and Zeta Gundam for modern audiences, so everything looks really shiny. Although I'd still say, if you like these, check out the original series if you can handle just how dated the animation looks. Of course, we have Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Destiny Plus for that week ending at the end of Seed Destiny. And more alternate series, alternate universes. We have Mobile Suit Gundam 00. This is basically a rehash of Gundam Wing. They change a lot of things, though, and the way that they're executing it is quite different. When I first heard about this series, I'm like, oh, it's 5 Hero Yuis. After watching the first season, I don't think so, but they have their personalities are different enough. They're not all suicidal. And then it's a lot more like if you could compare, Gundam Wing is more um, everything you have to find out as the series goes in terms of why everything is happening. But in Mobile Suit Double O, it's more like they tell you exactly what's going on at the very beginning, and then everything changes, and then you're trying to figure out what exactly is going on for the whole picture. That's the best way I could describe it. But let's just say it's basically a modern reinterpretation of Gundam Wing. That's how I see it, at least. That's Volume 2. And of course, it had its own movie, Awakening of the Trailblazer. Now, if Hiro Yui and friggin' in Wing Zero got into a fight with Gundam Exia, I don't know how it ended. Don't ask me, alright? Finally, I'll show you guys a couple games that I have. The only one for the PS1 that I have is Gundam Battle Assault 1. I don't know. After playing this game, I felt it was it was okay. Not a lot happened. It's just your regular fighter. And also I have um, Dynasty Warriors Gundam 3. This game actually has a lot of Gundams, and it gets a bit repetitive. And what happened is, I guess, in the American release edition, all the music is removed and replaced with some generic music. Because I know that I saw some videos on YouTube. If you play as a certain Gundam, it'll like have the theme from that show. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Tofuhero, signing out.